Okay, I'm here with Alex Straker, and he is going through a training session of how to use his debt recycling calculator.
Cool. All right, so went through a bit of this the other day, but basically the 4 input tabs that you're really mainly focused on when you start out with this thing are these first 4 in a row along the bottom here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got fact find input, modelling data, strategy report data, and then existing investment data. The main tab by far that's got the most amount of input required is the very first one, the fact find input. And of course, once you've got your fact find done, you'll have what you need to be able to complete this particular tab. But the thing to start with is, okay, fundamentally, what sort of plan are we looking at here for the client?
Right. Well, let's have a look at the equity one.
Let's do the equity one. So this is going to be an example where we are saying that the home was already paid off, but there's spare equity available to redraw, so we can now use that to leverage off and invest whatever it might be. Okay, so that's an equity plan. Now, we were going to do an input of a client example, Adrian. Is that something you'd still like to have a go at? Do you want to just sort of throw numbers at me and I'll just type, or do you want to drive yourself a little bit and start to get you familiarised with it?
Yeah.
It's sort of usually the best way to go. I mean, I can do it all day, but it's not helping.
All right, so can we come back to the name and everything?
Absolutely, yeah, sure, mate.
All right.
Where do you want to start?
All right, so I guess the next one down here, the
assets?
Cash and the assets.
Beautiful.
So
is it one client or 2?
It is. Let's just do it under the one, because essentially her husband is just a stay-at-home dad, no income. So
yeah, okay.
So just to keep it simple at the moment.
Yep, all good.
So personal residence.
Value of that?
Say 950. They've got an investment property.
Is that going to factor in, do you think?
Well, they've actually just sold it, so they've just got cash now.
Don't worry about that. They won't even list it.
Okay, don't.
So it doesn't exist anymore. Under the name.
All right.
That's fine.
So it's under cash.
Okay, cash to be dropped in. Oh, okay. Do we use?
Yeah, you include the cash because you don't want to keep it outside the plan. You're kind of including it with the whole model.
Yeah.
There's a substantial lump there.
Yeah.
So we'd say it's to be dropped into the account, even though, I mean, theoretically they're not going to have a home loan account to drop it in.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
650.
And they don't have any other investment property.
Nothing in those categories.
No.
So we can go down a little bit. If we can just have a look further down, there's things like shares, managed funds. Do they have any of that stuff?
They have a growth bond for their kids.
Okay.
Would that be relevant?
Look, you can still put it in here and just note that it's there as an existing investment, and that's where you come to this tab to enter the more detailed information if you want to know.
Okay. Yep.
And put that into the modelling. But I don't know, how much do you know about it? Would you be able to actually?
I would have to draw it up, get it loaded up on from Portal.
Well, it's probably something you can do later, I guess, to put the detail in. But for now, do you know what the value is?
With that 650, that's what comes out for cash to be used for investment. How much is available? Is that?
That's an input that we have to put.
Wouldn't that 650 that they just sold the house for be down there then?
Yeah, it depends what you're going to do with it. So.
Do they want to invest it? Is that what they were asking you to look at?
Yeah, but to use the equity plan is
you would be borrowing as the home in that situation.
Yeah.
So otherwise you'd call it a savings plan.
Yeah.
And it would change that top thing. If there's not going to be any borrowing as the home, it becomes a different model.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on just savings.
Yeah.
So the way I remember these, I should just run through again what each one really does designate. So an equity plan is if the home is paid off, but the purpose of the plan is to actually redraw from that home equity and create another loan again, essentially. There's a savings plan which is just simply based on no borrowing. So if you remember that in your head, no borrowing, that's always savings plan. Although when I say that, there could be a margin loan. But fundamentally, the savings plan is here's a lump of cash, I'm going to invest that, maybe add to it every month, and just sort of budget and work on feeding it and building it up.
Yep.
So you may involve margin loan if somebody wants that, but I tend not to do them much. Mortgage plan is the classic debt recycling model where we have non-deductible and deductible debt, where we're gradually paying off non-deductible and using that to increase deductible, and that leverage provides further income which drives the whole picture better. And the only other one is what I call mortgage management, and that one is just paying off the debt only but no investing. So it's just okay, here's the home loan, let's just attack the debt really hard and model that cash flow.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that's the 4 choices up the top. So in this case, if we've chosen equity,
Mhm.
then what we're telling the computer is we're going to be inputting stuff that says to model a plan where we're going to re-borrow against the home for a certain amount. Now you could put cash in with that as well,
Sure.
and it actually doesn't matter for the data input purpose whether you put it here or up here.
Mm.
Because essentially it's still going to flow through to the picture anyway, but it's more important when we get to modelling data what we actually state here, because that's going to give us the size of the investment and so on.
Mm.
So we'll get that information to come through there when we need it, but anyway, for this case that's okay. So we didn't have any other bits and pieces apart from you mentioned the growth bond. Do you know the value of it, just so we can jot down the value in that?
Yeah, it's approximately 500,000.
Okay, substantial then. Okay, so there's that. Now, continuing on, and then just basically, I'm not sure if you know these figures off the top of your head or not, but you've got like your home contents and vehicles and whatnot, and a super figure as well.
Yeah, I don't know the motor vehicles, but I know that the super is about 700.
700,000. Is that just that person, or is that combined?
It's no, just that person,
Yep.
and it's 2 different super funds.
2 funds. That's
So-
okay. I usually just put it as a lump.
Yeah.
But then what happens is when you go to enter the detailing over here,
Mhm.
then you can actually say, okay, name of one fund, name of
Okay.
the second fund,
Yeah.
etc. And then you know who's this who's. What is the client's first name?
Tara.
The reason I say we'll put it in now is because then that name pops up in other areas that we need it for.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it just sort of makes it easy to understand. But yeah, trying to throw that one in.
Mhm.
Cool. And do you know date of birth? It's just that it's going to mix up some of the calculators if
All right.
but
I'll just go.
it's sort of looking at number of years to retirement, etc. Yeah.
Can you just open that up and show me the other ones
Yeah,
again?
no
So I know
worries,
where
yeah.
we're going.
So 4 choices. So equity, mortgage, mortgage management, savings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. How long did this take you to do?
It's been a 12-year
Oh,
project
wow.
all up. It's kind of grown
Congratulations.
over time. Yeah. About half of it took the first 2 years, and then
Mm.
bits and pieces have added onto it over time.
We know what it's
kind of
like,
enhanced
having
and
had an
helped.
online business, it's a huge undertaking. People
massive.
don't realise.
No,
you
it is
know,
massive, absolutely.
they don't
And there's a lot of
realise
updates too, because you know, tax rates change and
That's right.
rules change, and
Yeah.
you know, you have to update how things are working in it.
Yeah.
Medicare levy, blah blah blah.
Alright, so her date of birth.
Sorry, mate, I'll just go back up to that section. Oh, sorry, you can do it a bit slow working from here. It's just stuck in that one.
So many variables.
There's a huge amount of stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so
All right, so she's got a home that's paid off, so we're not going to have any non-deductible debt.
mhm.
So we go down. Does she have any investment loans at this stage?
No.
Nothing. Okay, cool. That's fine. So nothing to put in any of those loan boxes. Gross wage. Yep. Any other sources of income at this stage?
No.
Okay. Now, that's other forms of income from investment. Okay, deductions, if you know them. Or salary sacrifice. Some people just sort of say, well, I've got a total of $1,000 deductions, and
Mm.
if you want to do that, you can just chuck them under all work-related expenses, if you just know sort of one figure, but I'm not sure how far you've drilled down with the
No.
client at all.
No, not yet.
Yeah, there may not be many anyway. If she hasn't got investments, there's unlikely to be a huge amount.
Mm.
Yeah, it's and she's just an employee, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Did you
So
salary sacrifice in that?
she, it's Q Super is her other fund, so it's
Yeah.
they generally do.
Yeah, most of them do. There's a compulsory post-tax contribution most of them have to do
Yeah.
in that government thing.
I'm
Is
not
she a
sure.
teacher or?
No, a doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, there's probably extra super going in.
yeah, she's probably
Who knows?
yeah, but I don't know exactly what it is, but it would be probably around 12 or 17%.
She'd probably be taken up to the cap if she's a doctor.
Yeah,
Normally they do.
Yeah.
But hey, it's something I'll have to find out.
yeah, I will.
But mate,
yeah.
just so you know, I mean you've seen it before, but to kind of show both of you at once, the salary sacrifice here is this little section.
Yeah.
So yeah, just lob in whatever number she's doing.
Mhm.
So you don't have to put the guarantee in, obviously.
Mhm.
That comes in a separate area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coming back up here, do you have much on the supers yet? Like a bit of basic kind of info we could put in about that?
Just the her AMP one.
Yep. So it's an AMP. So here, current superannuation, if you want to just type in
Yep.
what you do know. So there's AMP, obviously.
So while you were producing this, were you working for another company? Or
Yeah,
Oh,
it started because my first job in the industry, I got a job with a company that specialised in this kind of planning.
Right.
And that was just a bit of luck in a way because they were a bit ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they understood it quite well. But the boss there started to teach me about how to do the modelling and everything, and then he basically asked me to start building a calculator. So he wanted one. So I just started on Excel. I didn't really know much about Excel either, but I said to kind of find out things, build it, find out another thing, build that, add to it, play with it, try and make it better.
Is this where I put like what her risk profile is? Like,
No, more the assumed growth rate. So if you were to
Oh,
say,
okay.
okay, we're going to be allowed to model this super at, 4% or whatever.
yeah, she's
There's certain designated things AMP will probably say, well, we'd like you to model at this rate. So,
Yeah.
depending on the...
yeah,
Profile.
it's a 50-50, so I don't know that off the top of my head, but
Yeah, just chuck in a number for now. You can come back
Yeah.
and alter it later and just put maybe, 5 and 4 or something,
yeah.
depending on what it is. And so your income rate's at the end there. So,
Income.
yeah, percent-wise.
Don't know, maybe you reckon 4?
I don't know, mate. What is it?
It's
Is it...
it's just a 50% growth fund.
Yep.
So
Probably even, I'd say less on the growth side. It might be 4 and 4, but
okay, yeah, right, 4 and
Yeah.
4, yeah.
hey, don't ask me. I'm
We'll
just too sure.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah, AMP will have an exact number, 4 point
Yeah.
something or other.
Yeah, she actually doesn't obviously contribute to this because
Mm-hmm.
it's not, it's the enterprise agreement.
Mm-hmm. So it's just get 9.5 from the employer.
Yep.
Yep.
My understanding is they probably get 12.
They get a bit extra from the employer.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then like they.
We'll put 12, but again, something you probably have to clarify.
Yeah.
The thing I get from every client is ask them to bring a couple of pay slips.
Mm.
That sort of
Yeah.
solves most of this. You can
Sure.
kind of pull that off the pay slip
Yeah.
a lot
You
of the
don't
time.
even ask the questions, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And
That makes sense.
that speeds up the process. But what about the other super?
Q Super.
Yep.
I don't have any details on that at the moment.
No, okay. All we can do is make a basic assumption. So, do you know what the value of it is at all?
Yeah, 350.
Okay. Let's see if her name will come through here. Tara, yep. Okay, how's that invested, do you know? Or?
No, but
Let's just assume it's balanced.
It'll be balanced because it's like they do life stages. So.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, we go with maybe 3.5, 3.5.
Well, because that's 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
balanced would be more. So
Yeah, true.
either top one's 3 and 3, and,
Yep.
and this one's 4 and 4.
Yeah, that's true. We just want to make it 4 and 4 again,
Yep.
don't we? Bit hard to say when you don't have the figures.
Yeah.
And no employee contributions to that one at all?
No.
Or? No. Okay, that's it for super, isn't it? So, and the only other thing was that growth bond, but we don't really know a lot about details, I guess.
Oh, the growth bond I do.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Excellent. Is there a name for it? Like, is it a
That
particular company brand? Or?
yeah.